Good morning, dear distinguished delegates, dear peers, dear speakers, dear partners. We are honored to be here. I present the Republic of Kazakhstan. Today is the Kazakhstan delegation led by Vice Minister of Ecology and Federal Resources, Mr. Mansour Shobayev. Arranged to see the Green Academy by support ISTC Center and project SIPA Green. Today we arranged site event we plan to discuss how Kazakhstan and Central Asia country can improve monitoring system in Central Asia and how we can create a visualization platform. And let me also say thank you Miroslav Climate Association, Climate Association, and City Company for providing us this very nice pavilion. We hope that together we continue and discuss our future visualization platform. Let me give you for video speech Vice Minister of Ecology and Federal Resources of Kazakhstan, Mr. Mansour Shobayev.
Thank you so much. Уважаемые господа, уважаемые партнеры, прежде всего, разрешите поприветствовать вас на данном сайт-ивенте, организованном научно-образовательным центром Green Academy, совместно с Министерством экологии при поддержке ISTC.
First of all, I want to welcome you to this side event organized by the Scientific and Educational Center, Green Academy, together with the Ministry of Ecology and Natural Resources of the Republic of Kazakhstan, with the support of International Science and Technology Center in Astana.
В условиях глобальной климатической повестки Республика Казахстан достижение цели по сокращению выбросов парниковых газов является национальной системой торговли выбросами.
In the context of the global climate agenda, one of Kazakhstan's key instruments in achieving its greenhouse gas emission reduction goals is the national emission trading system.
На сегодняшний день СТВ Казахстана охватывает 43% всех национальных выбросов и включает крупнейшие предприятия энергетического, нефтегазового, промышленного и добывающего сектора.
Today, the ETF covers about 43% of all national emissions and includes the largest enterprises in the energy, oil and gas, industrial and mining sectors.
С учетом запуска механизма совместного кредитования GCM и рыночных механизмов ЦК-6 правительства соглашения, Министерство экологии и природных ресурсов Республики Казахстан ведет работу по внесению соответствующих поправок в экологический кодекс Республики Казахстан.
Taking into account the launch of the joint credit mechanism, GCM, and the market mechanisms of Article 6 of the Paris Agreement, the Ministry of Ecology and Natural Resources of the Republic of Kazakhstan is working on introducing relevant amendments to the Environmental Code of the Republic of Kazakhstan.
Необходимо отметить, что при поддержке Всемирного банка реализуется грантовый проект партнерства по реализации рынка, в рамках которого будет совершенствоваться наша национальная система торговли выбросами.
It should be noted that the grant project, Partnership for Market Representation, PMI, is being carried out with the support of the World Bank, within which our national emission trading system will be improved.
Буквально в начале ноября текущего месяца, получается, мы внесли в правительство наш обновленный АНУ 3.0, который охватывает более амбициозные цели по сокращению выбросов парниковых газов, а также конкретные меры по смягчению адаптации к изменению климата и в разных секторах экономики.
Just at the beginning of November, we submitted our updated nationally determined contribution in the DC 3.0 to the government, which includes more ambitious targets for reducing greenhouse gas emissions, as well as concrete investment measures for mitigation and adaptation to climate change in different economic sectors.
Наряду с этим разрабатывается дорожная карта достижения углеродной нейтральности до 2060 года.
Along this, a roadmap for achieving carbon neutrality by 2060 is being developed.
В рамках участия в заседании КОП мы планируем обсудить расширение сотрудничества с климатическим фондом GCF, Loss and Damage Fund и вопросы практической реализации договоренности с правительством Японии по GCM, достигнутых на протяжении всего года.
As a part of our participation in COP meetings, we plan to discuss expanding cooperation with the Green Climate Fund, the Earth and Damage Fund, and issues for practical implementation of the GCM agreements with the government of Japan, which were issued throughout the year.
Проведение данной сессии мы рассмотрим как еще один шаг к расширению сотрудничества с нашими партнерами, в частности, архив ООН, по дальнейшей реализации принятых климатических обязательств.
And we consider this session as another step towards expanding cooperation with our partners, in particular with the UNFCCC, on the further implementation of our adaptive climate commitments.
Позвольте еще раз благодарить всех участников, уважаемых автомобилей, уважаемые спикеры. Очень рад сегодняшней встрече. Надеюсь, что сегодня мы проведем очень эффективную встречу. А также хотел бы всех пригласить принять участие на региональном экологическом саммите в 2026 году, который состоится в городе Астана, Казахстане. Спасибо большое.
Allow me to once again thank all the organizers, Ms. Bakati and the speakers of this session, and invite all of you to take part in the Regional Environmental Summit, which we plan to hold in April 2026 in Astana. Thank you for your attention.
Спасибо, Мансур Культурович, для приветствия. На самом деле, казахская делегация не такая многочисленная, and я бы хотела еще всех поблагодарить. We are sent a whole Kazakh delegation to support this activity during COP, because it required more than 25 hours from Kazakhstan to Berlin to support global community, and hope that COP30 will be finally to promote not only global cooperation, but also cooperation in terms of attractive climate finance. Thank you very much, and good luck to you. Yeah, thank you. Dear speakers, dear panelists, dear colleagues, unfortunately, Mr. Parumov Armungam, manager market, no market state manager, ISTC will come to join to us later. And I kindly ask Ms. Felicity Sports, Director. First of all, thank you for you for coming there, and they are giving floor for greetings, maybe future cooperation with Kazakhstan. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all your work in Kazakhstan and this really important area of trade and development of capacity. The European Bank for Reconstruction and Development is a bank that was established in 1992 and has been driving sustainable development through investing in the private sector. We have a mandate to drive liberal market economy, and we believe that liberal market economy is best when it is green and sustainable and meeting the sustainable needs defined by the country. We operate in parts of Central Asia, and Kazakhstan is a key partner. We have been investing in Kazakhstan the last years and supporting Kazakhstan with Article 6 work, particularly through our carbon credit facility, which is investments from Japan. And we hope that this will also support the rapid uptake of Article 6. We also are very keen to work with the government of Kazakhstan in developing country platforms which can drive greater investment in Kazakhstan. The initial reductions that we can achieve through this active collaboration and engagement are key, but fundamental is ensuring the quality of the reductions. And that's why I'm very grateful to be here to discuss with you all the value of actively working to improve the monitoring of those reductions in order to maximize the value of Kazakhstan, not only in the ETS, but also in the event of trade. As we know from our discussions with Singapore, Sweden, Japan, Norway, that they place high value on objective, independent crediting, and that standards that are recognized by the UN are then fungible. So we really support the work that's being done here to develop the ETS, to identify pipelines. That's what we're invested in. We will invest in the companies driving the reductions to drive the economy, and we support those that will be buying of the products as well. So thank you very much. It's a real honor to be here today, and I'm going to support standards, crediting, and reduction. Thank you.
Thank you, Felicia, for your kind cooperation. We know that Felicia means happiness. I'm also happiness in Kazakhstan. But welcome to Kazakhstan. Thank you for your country. Yeah, please waiting in Kazakhstan. Thank you very much. Okay. Dear colleagues, let me continue our agenda, and I'm proud to deploy very professional specialist in climate change, Mr. Jan William Lagerland. Jan, I give you floor and very happy to hear your intervention, Head of Policy Green Climate Fund.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would like to be there in Brazil, but I'm here in Songdo in Korea. I recently joined the Green Climate Fund, and previously I was working in Felicity's shop in London at the EBRD. So in my previous work at EBRD, we together with the GCF, we provided quite a bit of policy analysis in past, let's say, helping to support Kazakhstan in the establishment of its Kazakh emissions trading scheme. As you all know, that carbon pricing is very important in order to create and ignite that transition to low carbon economy. And a low carbon economy is good for the competitiveness of the economy of Kazakhstan, as well as helps its diversification of the Kazakh economy. Still, Kazakhstan is quite depending still on fossil fuel. About 80% of the electricity still comes from coal, and the energy sector is a main part of the emissions. So I applaud your initiative here at the in Belém on the digitalization of the carbon market. I think that's a very good cause. It will help both the robustness of the system as well as lowering the transaction cost, because as you know, carbon markets are a bit complex, but that complexity can be reduced by the use of digital means. Now, as I'm working with the GCF, you know, we have been working closely, for example, with the EBRD on a renewable energy framework, and we have invested in a number of projects thereunder. A part of that project was dedicated to assisting the carbon market development. That work is not yet concluded, I understand, from my colleague in EBRD. There's still some policy advice that comes out, but just to preempt what recommendations there are, and I hope recommendations will be included in the further updates as to the Kazakh emissions trading scheme, but also the work being done on the getting ready for Article 6 and for country platforms and so on. Of course, there's the need to enhance the integrity and the efficiency of the domestic crediting scheme. There's a need to avoid further the double counting between the ETS covered installations and other sectors. Very important is the need to improve liquidity, and that could be done by allowing non-ETS entities into the scheme, like financial institutions. And then I think very important as well, in order to create fiscal means for a longer term decarbonization, is to phase in auctioning and tighten the cap over time. Now, again, digitalization can here help in making all that information more timely, more robust, and at lower transaction cost. So as GCF, we stand ready to further support Kazakhstan, and I hope you have a further successful workshop. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jan, and waiting strengthening cooperation with the GCF and welcome to Kazakhstan. Thank you very much, and I give more to Mr. Perjan Kojaev, Chairman of Board, National State Company Kazakhstan Garage. Perjan, 5 minutes. No voice, Perjan, no voice.
Yep. Sorry, my bad. Now, do you hear me well? Hello?
It's okay.
Do you hear me? Меня слышно?
Слушай, начинайте.
Rahmet. Hello, everybody. Thank you again for this occasion, because I would like to introduce a little bit about myself. We as Kazakhstan Sapare is from Kazakhstan national company who is actually operating Earth observation satellites. Starting from this year, we start to a little bit more care about like sustainability, and first of all, mostly about like ecological issue, and started a project in Kazakhstan, space system for monitoring the methane emission. Why we decided to do that? Actually, our president, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, last COP declared that reducing methane emission is the fastest way to slow the pace of the global warming. We absolutely agree with his votes. On top of that, he already like approved to be part like of the Paris Agreement, of the Global Methane Pledge, and Convention of Climate Change. So, started from this point, we decided to develop a space system, which goal actually to do space monitoring of the methane emission, make analysis, and the next steps, develop dedicated digital map for our region, mostly for Central Asia. And through this report, we will do analysis and identify and do help to exclude potential methane emissions. Actually, our goals in the upcoming few years, it's launch 3 satellites in parallel to develop a digital platform with a digital map, which will help us as a Kazakhstan and Central Asia to reduce methane emissions. Actually, our like goal to develop satellites with the capability to define 100 kilo per hour's emission, and with a source productivity around 100,000 square kilometer per day. To be more short, why we're going to do that? Because, of course, as a national company, we're working with the government, and our goal to support government to reduce any potential carbon and methane emission. But by the way, we are going to work directly with the business. We start negotiations with the local oil companies. In parallel, we're working with the international organization, because we know this quite hot topic. In parallel, there is a few companies around the world who is developing similar system. We start negotiation and do believe that it will be more kind of like joint international constellation of satellites, and will help to speed up coverage and exclude any potential emission. And last one, I think it's a more important thing that I would like to highlight. This system will help us to work not only for future, not for current time, for future, because I do believe that sharing the data with the university institutes and improving AI will help not us to improve what we're planning to do. To be short, we started to define like methane emission in Kazakhstan, but in a coming couple of years after launching our satellites, our constellation, it will be more faster and more productive. At the end, I would like to say thank you for everybody who give us this floor to share our goals, and do believe that through this event we will find potential partners and who support us in our future trip. Thank you so much. If you have a question, I will be glad to answer on them.
Thank you very much, John. Thank you for your greetings, and hope you will cooperate with Ministry of Ecology in terms of improving the reduction system in country. Thank you. Dear colleagues, let me give for Dr. George Safonov, key expert SIPA in France. I'd like also note that Green Academy together with George Safonov developed the first NDC of Kazakhstan in 2015 and through the floor to George. Georgi, one forward.
Thanks a lot, Bahet. I'm very glad and thankful for giving me opportunity to make very brief presentation about my vision on decarbonization and carbon markets development in Central Asia. I think it's very important now to focus on these developments. So I will show you some slides, but I will not talk about these slides. So that would be some additional information for you. So maybe next slide, please. Actually, Central Asia already experienced a deep decarbonization process in 1990s, and we observed that was very costly for the countries. But after 2000, emissions were growing gradually, and now they're relatively high. So that's a big challenge to reduce these emissions using different tools. Next slide, please. So intensity of economies and industries in Central Asia are very high. So it's for some countries it's right in the top of world carbon intensity countries like Turkmenistan and Kazakhstan also. Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan have a lot of hydro resources, so they're dependent and they're willing to develop further their hydro, but agriculture is a big emission source there. There are several external drivers that provide some incentives, I would say, to move towards low carbon economy and decarbonization and carbon neutrality in the end. So several countries already considering or even adopted, like Kazakhstan, carbon neutrality strategy. And the threats that are considered and discussed are related to external regulations like CBAM and actually access to EU and Asian markets. So I will not say a lot about global carbon market landscape. These markets are developing. Over 70 jurisdictions already have different tools for it, including carbon markets and taxation and other instruments. But what is important to mention is that there is evolution of these carbon markets from purely mitigation tools to multi-objective instruments, including or engaging fiscal revenue, industrial policy, and competitiveness. Yeah, we will talk more about Article 6, so I will not focus on it now. And I would also say that donors and UN agencies are promoting the idea of mobilizing private finance through carbon markets. Next slide, please. In Kazakhstan, I think the big honor of the country is that the first emission trading scheme was launched in this country in the Central Asian region. So it was launched in 2013. It evolved. It was frozen for a while, and now it's moving on and developing and evolving. Of course, there are challenges with the system, including limited liquidity, price signals are weak. So there are challenges, and this should be okay. And Uzbekistan is a very interesting country. I have been working there for several years already, and the big achievement, I would say, is the adoption of the new framework law on limiting greenhouse gas emissions. And this law provides some foundations for developing a trading mechanism. So next year, the carbon emission trading mechanism will be launched. Prices will be determined by the market mechanisms. And there are targets, some targets like carbon neutrality by 2055 or 2060 are being discussed now in the government and expert community and with international partners. So that is interesting field of new work for the country, which may be very indicative for the region. So other Central Asian countries also have some processes, but relatively slow. Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan are in early stages. So the drivers, as I mentioned, relate to the situation of the countries which are trade exposed and carbon intensive. And CBAM may substantially affect competitiveness of countries in EU market. So there are several options how carbon pricing and markets can help the countries, specifically to internalize carbon costs domestically rather than pay at the border, or create revenue to fund decarbonization and social support and other tools. There are some processes on regional analysis which are also very interesting. For instance, the Regional Environmental Center of Central Asian countries prepared very interesting review of how the markets can reduce fiscal and competitiveness risks. Article 6 is important direction of work for the countries and is considered as a very serious tool to help countries to implement their commitments. And we observe that Article 6 is now not just negotiation platform, but implementation phase is starting. And that is where international partners and domestic stakeholders should play a very important role. In Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan in particular, Article 6 can complement existing carbon pricing mechanisms, providing additional revenue streams and technology transfer. But as we discuss from time to time in Kazakhstan and other countries, that it requires strong MRV systems, registries, and legal frameworks to avoid double counting. So there is a lot to do further, but there is a good foundation for it. Investment and project opportunities exist in all countries of the region, and Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, they try to structure this potential to prepare for financing by partners and investments from partners. And there are also cross-cutting regional issues which are identified on my slide. And probably the one before the last slide, please, next one. It's a well-known picture of abatement costs, and that's very important for countries to consider the low-hanging fruits potential, cheap reductions of emissions using available options, and high costs, high-hanging fruits. These opportunities, projects, measures should be split, I think, in segments. And there are several recommendations I would propose for Bahit and for our partners organizing the call, so that we probably could integrate them in our recommendations of the side event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, George, for your contribution. I think it is a good opportunity for Central Asia to establish a regional platform for improvement in general, our potential and our market potential. Dear colleagues, let me give floor to our long-term partners from OECD, Director of the CIFA program, Ms. Pauline Akamer, and her colleagues, Farid Al-Husani, team lead, the qualities. Pauline, I give you floor. Thank you very much for your preparation.
Thank you very much, dear Bahit, dear Vice Minister, dear colleagues. Thank you for inviting the OECD in this important dialogue. I will only say a few words and then give the floor to my colleague, but I wanted to highlight that the Sustainable Infrastructure Program in Asia, or SIPA, has been supporting Kazakhstan and governments of Central Asia for the past 4 years with their climate mitigation efforts, focusing on key infrastructure in the energy, industry, and transport. And this program was carried out thanks to the support of the government of Germany, the Federal Ministry of Environment, through the International Climate Initiative, and is implemented by the OECD and a range of partners, including IDRI, whom we just heard, but also the University of Central Asia, the International Institute for Sustainable Development, the UNDP, among others. We already had the opportunity to contribute through SIPA to a number of discussions and capacity building on carbon pricing instruments. We've notably delivered some recommendations to Kazakhstan for the reform of their emission trading scheme, which, as has been already mentioned, can be leveraged in the framework of Article 6 and of future development of regional voluntary carbon markets. We've also talked about the importance of the integrity of carbon markets and highlighted some avenues for ensuring that these mechanisms are transparent, ensure their accountability, and make sure that they are conducive to effective greenhouse gas emission reduction. But what we want to highlight today is the role that carbon markets can play to drive sustainable investments, investments that contribute to climate and broader sustainability goals, including those aligned with the Paris Agreement. And so today we will adopt a broader perspective in relations to carbon market, but really to show more the downstream effects that such incentives can have on investment. And it is really a pleasure to introduce my colleague Nunzia Saporito of the OECD Directorate for Enterprise and Financial Affairs in Sustainable Investment Division to present the OECD FDI Qualities Indicators Visualization Platform. So Nunzia, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Corinne. Good morning, dear participants. First of all, let me thank the organizers, Green Academy, the Vice Ministries, and of course my colleague Fellina Tamer for inviting us to this interesting event. I am Nunzia Francesca Saporito. I'm a policy analyst at the Sustainable Investment Unit at the OECD. And as Pelin was saying, I will briefly introduce the OECD FDI Quality Framework, indicators and policies for mapping and improving investment impact on carbon emission and low carbon development. As Pelin said, my presentation will not be specifically on carbon pricing instruments, but carbon pricing instruments form part of the policy toolkit we will present. While they not aim specifically at FDI, they send strong long-term signals that can influence investment decision in the long run. So we will look at how government can foster this investment in low carbon development and how FDI, actually foreign direct investment, can contribute to lower overall emission on the industrial side. In this first slide, you can see the broader framework of the OECD FDI qualities tools. As you know, and we have been discussing in the framework of the COP, sustainable investment is central to the global policy agenda. And to help mobilize private capital for low carbon development, the OECD launched this FDI quality initiative in 2018. With the aim to provide government with the policy data and expertise needed to promote more sustainable investment. The initiative has two main pillars, the FDI quality indicators and the policy toolkit. The indicators assess how foreign investment contribute to key SDG dimension. We assess the impact on productivity and innovation, job quality and skill, gender equality, digitalization, and low carbon development and decarbonization. And the policy toolkit on the other side helps government, still the previous slides, identify reform priority to attract investment and strengthen their sustainable impact. The toolkit is grounded in principle of openness, transparency, and non-discrimination, and offers guidance and policy mixes to support sustainability goals. Our initiative is complemented by a strong program of country and regional level work. This framework has actually recently been applied in Central Asia. We have been working with Uzbekistan, and the resulting report will be launched on November 26th at the European Union Central Asia Economic Forum in Tashkent. In the next slide, you can see that to make this information easily accessible to everyone, we develop a digital visualization platform that includes the main FDI quality indicators by country, regional groups, and thematic area. So countries can benchmark themselves on the impact that FDI are having for low carbon development and the other clusters. And the platform is available online and can be accessed through this QR code on the slide. For the rest of the presentation, I will provide a summary on the main indicator we have for low carbon development in Central Asia. These insights are essential for taking stock of the current status of investment and for designing also policies that can strengthen contribution to decarbonization and can attract more FDI in lower carbon industries. This sector indicator you will see was developed through our work with Uzbekistan, and that we will present in a few weeks. So in the next slide, let's start first with trends in green sectors, because FDI can contribute to low carbon development by directly increasing the activity in some low carbon industry. In these slides, you can see for an investment in renewables, you can see that it has been growing very rapidly in the last 10 years across both OECD and Central Asia. And now, for example, in Kazakhstan, greenfield FDI in renewables exceed investment in fossil fuels. More than 14% of total greenfield FDI targeted renewable energy in the last 5 years, compared with less than 3% in the previous 5-year period. While this is a substantial improvement, the share remained below Central Asia, suggesting there is untapped potential in the countries to attract investment in renewable energy, also to support energy-intensive industries. As you can see in the slides, Uzbekistan offers an interesting example in the region. The country has successfully leveraged the sustainable transition to attract increasing FDI in renewable energy. This progress has been driven by an improved business climate, particularly tenders, very competitive tenders, and public-private partnership, which helped to reduce investors' risk while lower electricity cost. In this slide now on the screen, you can see that we also monitor how actually firms can contribute to the low carbon transition. And one way to manage investment impact to low carbon transition is to influence their environmental practices through policies. Overall, you can see in this slide that in Central Asia, the performance of foreign firms in environmental practices is mixed. In Kazakhstan, few firms integrate environmental and climate issue into their strategy and in human resources allocation. The figure on this slide shows that even though domestic firms seem to perform slightly better than foreign firms, overall very few firms, whether foreign or domestic, employ manager responsible for climate issue. On the right side of the slide, or as the figure on the left mention such issues in their strategic objectives. In the next slide, this slide now on the screen, when we look at energy efficiency measures, the picture is a bit more mixed. A few Kazakh firms, domestic or foreign, have set clear targets to reduce energy consumption. And as shown in the figure on the left, this share is lower than the average in the region. At the same time, there is a larger proportion of firms that actively report monitoring their energy use, as is shown in the figure on the right. And also foreign firms tend to be more likely than domestic firms to track their energy consumption. This difference may be linked to the sector in which foreign firms operate, as well as the presence of a more structured energy efficiency requirement in industrial sector where foreign investors are more prevalent, but give an idea of how foreign firms can contribute to diffuse standards that can actually improve the overall impact of investment on the low carbon transition. In the next slide, finally, these two figures show that foreign firms are much more likely than domestic firms to use renewable energy in their operation, and they also perform better in waste management practices. Again, is an encouraging sign of how international investment can bring higher standards in some areas related to sustainable development and low carbon development. Next slide. After looking at all these indicators, the main question becomes what can government actually do to better leverage FDI and investment for the low carbon transition? The starting point, of course, is the host country policy framework. Frameworks usually shape the overall business environment, what kind of investment come in, how firms operate, and also the carbon footprint associated with investment. However, even policies that are generally conducive of attracting FDI do not necessarily lead to significant increase in low carbon FDI or in more FDI in low carbon sectors. This is why policymakers need to go further. They need to strengthen the specific enabling conditions that make low carbon investment attractive and viable. And this means developing policies and regulation that internalize the true cost of carbon emission and actively facilitate low carbon FDI, along with the knowledge transfer and technology spillovers these FDI can generate. This is where the OECD FDI Quality Policy Toolkit comes in, as it provides a comprehensive policy framework to help countries maximize the positive impact of FDI on their climate objectives, while limiting the potential negative impacts. The policy toolkit, as you can see in this slide, is organized around 4 key principles to help policymakers craft effective policy mixes to promote low carbon investment. It also includes a self-assessment tool with questions and policy examples to guide the design of policies tailored to the country characteristics. I won't go into the details in here, don't worry, but let me highlight just one example. Under Pillar 3, as you can see, the toolkit includes guidance on how government can stimulate low carbon investment and build domestic technical capabilities to targeted financial and technical support, which include carbon pricing mechanism and emission markets. As I mentioned, we have applied this framework in Central Asia in the work with Uzbekistan, and we have a dedicated chapter on investment for the green and low carbon transition that might be interesting for you and for your work. The report will be launched the 26th of November in a few weeks and will be made available online. This brings me to the end of my presentation. In the last slide, there are our contacts. If you are interested in our work or would like to continue the conversation on how to foster FDI for the low carbon transition, I would be very happy to stay in contact. And again, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much for your very important information. In the subject, we are continuing cooperation with SIPA in the SIPA project next year, and welcome to Kazakhstan. Thank you, Pauline, and thank you, colleagues, once again. We stay in touch. Dear colleagues, unfortunately, very sorry we are late. And next speaker is Dr. Sidgali Galiyev, Institute of Planning Industry, under name of Kunaev and the Ministry of Industry and Construction, Kazakhstan. Mr. Galiyev, I kindly ask you to please very short, please.
Dear participants, let me give you information about digital monitoring system for environmental emission in the mining industry. Next slide. So this was the climate. The global climate is not about only global warming, but it's about human development in harmony with nature in the frame of ecological modernization. Next slide. As we know, one of the main principles of ecological modernization is environmental friendly and topic. The potential and the rating presented on this slide. The geography state and the two states that potential by optimization mining transport process. And the remaining two, the potential may be realized by changing equipment new technological based on digitalization and optimization process. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. On this slide, you can see the approximately 92% of war potential reducing environmental emission with technological process. Quantity of protection of road, effective system monitoring of the mining transport working. Next slide. On this slide, you can see the 78% of emission. This is from diesel fuel and 10% from electricity energy. Then one of the big problems of our Kazakhstan is that sometimes of consumption energy production exceed of actual volume. But after optimization, we can reduce the volumes from 15-20%. Next slide. On this slide, we can see in previous format mining transport system in the working process. Next slide. Here you can see the wall of section mining road of mining transport complex with the emission on which section of this road. Another problem of our system monitoring of environmental emission is that there are two systems monitoring environmental may separately greenhouse gases and pollution emission. Okay. But in our methodology, we can combine the two methodology directions and take into account all of substance of emission. On this slide, you can see that, for example, of 4-5 mining enterprises, that economic benefit in annual economic benefit is 13 billion tenge or $25 million. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. And here, another problem. Here, there is dynamic approach and static approach. Very big difference between main result of this approach. From -13 to up to +10%. Next slide. Here currently, recommendation of our research. Next slide. Thank you for your attention.
Good evening. Thank you for your presentation. Very professional and very difficult for understanding, but I think it is a good opportunity for mining sector of Kazakhstan to start research project on improvement monitoring system of this visualization platform. Dear colleagues, let me give you our next speaker, our good partner from Moscow, Ms. Danilia Magomedova. She's rector of, she's editor of Information Agency Caravan Info. And ask Danilia, please give me only 10 minutes for your introduction. Thank you. For climate policy and Central Asia. Guests, delegates of the United Nations Climate Change Conference. I warmly welcome you to the beautiful city of Berlin in the very heart of the Muslim. This unique venue symbolizes the urgent need to unite global efforts to protect our planet and find effective climate solution. The modern climate agenda has become a central direction of growth international corporations and domestic policy in many countries. To the national of Central Asia, we share common environmental change such as water scarcity, different temperatures and changing temperature regimes, effective communication and information support for climate policy have strategic importance. The Information Agency regards the task of covering climate issues not merely as a journalistic mission, but an instrument of public education and engagement among experts, businesses, and citizens. Only through the participation of all the parties can we move from declaration to real action. Special attention should be given to the regional dynamics. Central Asia is not merely a geographic space, but a single economic ecosystems where water, energy, and climate processes are globally interconnected. Publishing on major project aims and use solution where is the file of regional water use, the introduction of green technologies, or the development of renewable energy, also a culture of cooperation rather than participation. This is common challenge each country has all special priorities and approaches. Kazakhstan is the largest economic region, playing its leading role in climate transformation. Its main goal is to become a bridge between East and West in matters of the green economy, with special attention to climate adaptation in agriculture and water management. Kyrgyzstan, a country rich in water resource, purposes of power development and glacier preservation. Its climate agenda inclusive adaptation measures in mountainous areas. The promotion of ecotourism and the reduction of natural disaster risks. Uzbekistan demonstration impressive progress in environmental reforms. The party climate policy aims to restore degraded lands, promote water-saving agricultural technologies, and develop sustainable forestry, while actively encouraging investment in the green economy. Tajikistan, as a mountains country, makes a scientific contribution to the regional climate agenda through the development of green power and the protection of mountain ecosystems. Afghanistan currently faces severe climate challenges such as projects drought, floods, and other extreme water events, compounded by low resistance to natural distance. The country still needs to coordinate its efforts in governance and implementation of regional climate programs. Only by these forces in the information sphere can we handle the significance of Central Asia's climate changes to the global community, the mobilize the research needed to address them. My information agency aims to put a platform for sharing best practices and expert opinions and assistance a platform this work in promoting possible forward. Some projects are already implemented in Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and Turkmenistan. When people see feasible, reduced energy efficiency, soon farmers adopting sustainable practices, startups developing water-saving technologies, the climate agenda becomes less abstract. It is vital for the countries of Central Asia to demonstrate the unity of addressing climate challenges through regional cooperation. Technology exchange with joint project. Information support to climate policy is not a one-time campaign, but a long-term process that requires consistency, professionalism, and partnership. Today, journalists and editors must process not only from reporting but also a solid understanding. My agency actively developing cooperation with the Green Academy Research Center and the payment organization, research institutions, and entertainment companies to ensure the impact of climate change. In the long term, we see our vision of making climate topics an integral part of the region general media landscape, alongside economics, politics, and culture. So, I am confident that our youth spirit of this conference will make a significant contribution to the global fight against the climate crisis. Thank you for your attention and your commitment of this process. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your nice English. I think just for guys, thank for your opportunity to support us, and we know that they are leader of big information quality Caravan Info, working in Moscow, and she support us and promised to disseminate information about cycling in Central Asia, in China, and Afghanistan. Yeah, Mongolia. Thank you very much. And dear colleagues, the next speaker will be Mr. Dr. Eran Odin, Dean of Research, University of Central Asia. I'd like to note that University of Central Asia is a very innovative university for join three countries, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, and Kyrgyzstan, and we know that our colleagues from Dr. Iran we are told that Kazakhstan will finally open branch for a branch of this university in the next year. Dr. Iran, I give you floor, please. Go ahead. Dr. Iran, no voice, no voice. Microphone. Give me some recommendation. Give recommendation to Dr. Iran. Dr. Iran, no voice. Dr. Iran, okay, maybe we give you later we give you floor next after 10 minutes. In present, I plan to give floor to Rector of Almaty University of Power Engineering and Telecommunication, named after Gurjev Gauti from Almaty, Mr. Gani Medvedov. Gani, I give you floor.
Hi, can you hear me?
Dr. Iran, welcome, please. Please, give me 10 minutes, please start.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, sorry. I think you can hear me now very clearly. Am I right, Baki?
Okay, please start.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for your invitation, and I'm very glad to attend this event. And our rector, Professor Chris Carey, is also in the background and listening to this presentation. So I'm going to take you through a few slides to explain, to give you a little introduction to the University of Central Asia, and also to give you a little bit more about our research, our education, and the activities that are around innovation and knowledge exchange within Central Asia. So we are a private and a regional nonprofit university. We were founded in year 2000 under the international treaty between the governments of Kyrgyz Republic, Kazakhstan, and Tajikistan. We have got 2 state-of-art campuses, one in Narin and one in Horog. Okay, I am changing slides, sorry. Can you see the slides?
Yes. Dr. Iran, can you give full screen?
Okay, I am sharing it full screen. I'm sorry. Okay, right. Can you see the slides?
Yeah, okay.
Can you see the slides full screen?
Yeah, please tweet slide.
So I thought I am sharing full screen. I'm sorry, my screen is showing that I'm sharing full screen.
Okay, please continue.
Okay, I think we will have to we'll have to continue. I'm sorry, colleagues, that we have this technical issue. So as I said, we have got 2 campuses in Narin and Horog, which are state-of-the-art campuses, and we have students coming from all over Central Asia to study in these campuses. We also have the Graduate School of Development, which is predominantly based in Bishkek and Dushanbe, with many researchers working with us. We have also within our Center for Professional and Continuing Education, we have 17 continuing education learning centers across Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, and Afghanistan. And we deliver about 300,000 courses. We have delivered about 300,000 courses since 2006. We are just showing these to just indicate perhaps how we can support this particular initiative. With regards to research, we have got 2 key research institutes which are relevant to this talk, which is the Mountain Societies Research Institutes that is working on climate resilience and sustainable development. We got also Institute of Public Policy and Administration that provides insights into governance and policy frameworks that address climate challenges. We do have a number of researchers who are working in disaster risk research, mostly around risks due to avalanches, flood risk, landslides, and earthquakes. And we have kind of established a good profile of research. And of course, all of that collects data. Very much so. We also have the Life in Kyrgyzstan project that we have been involved since 2010. It is a longitudinal study where the data has been collected from 2010 to now of 3,000 households, and tracking 8,000 people from those 3,000 households. We have a plan to establish a digital climate and digitalization hub, and we are working through that, integrating and incorporating various parts of our university's activities. The hub will integrate climate data with digital technologies. You understand that we need the data, but also we need the associate technologies working in one place. Hopefully that allows us to do more work. Regional collaboration is extremely important. We are working with policymakers, researchers, and communities to enhance climate resilience. Our work is funded by international donor agencies, including the World Bank, UNDP, ADB, and of course our own Aga Khan Development Network. We are part of the Aga Khan Development Network. We are thinking, and we are hoping, and we are already partly working on this, that the hub will support decision making, provide actionable insights and the centralized data to support the strategic planning and policy. education and research from undergraduate level through the postgraduate programs that we are starting in 2026, and also the skills building programs when we can very effectively deliver through our activities within the School of Professional and Continuing Education that we have done through over 20 years. In the 4 countries I mentioned, we are able to do that. So we want to leverage our research expertise and the comprehensive data that we have collected in order to support this activity within Central Asia. We are keen to combine the diverse data set to enable very robust analysis and to support development of target interventions. We are strengthening our computer science school of Department of Computer Science based in Narin campus by bringing in staff who have expertise in artificial intelligence and machine learning. Of course, in any data hub, data accessibility and integrity is an issue. So this is something that we are very much aware and we are working with. We are creating a UCA Innovation Hub to try and support innovation, and some parts of that is to connect our campuses as smart, or develop our campuses as smart campuses so that they can be interconnected and of course connected with the local community as well. So we want our campuses to model sustainable development by combining the right tools with eco-friendly infrastructure. Our campuses allow us to do very controlled experiments under controlled environment, and they need to be then tested within larger spaces within our local areas and surrounding communities. And we are trying to leverage our connections with our own sister organizations within AKDN to try and enable us to do that. Of course, we want to work with all of you. We are very passionate about innovation and regional development. We already have entrepreneurship hubs that supports entrepreneurship and supporting the local SMEs, youth and women in many cities and towns in the area. We have got quite a substantial project which is called the University Town Development, which is ongoing, and it is entering a second phase now, where we look at this program expands the digital infrastructure to foster smart campuses. So our digital infrastructure, we are trying to connect it and support our communities in the local areas of the campuses to create that connectivity with the external world that allows them to do work and us to do work with them. We are focusing on smart utilities and also integrating digital solutions to promote sustainability related research and innovation. Of course, the focus is to have a centralized climate data hub, but we are also having another idea, which is something that I bring in from my past experience in UK, which is to create a renewable green energy demonstrator. We already have quite a big presence of solar and geothermal energy within Narin campus. A river runs through it. We want to try and have a demonstrator that adds micro hydro, and wind. So which allows us to visualize data that will then allow us to do the data analytics around that, to give the government authorities and industry the right advice. And of course, we can't do that on our own, and we need your support and involvement, and that's what we are seeking by being a part of this group. So the data visualization tools, I will try to go through very quickly and allows people governments and various organizations to make informed decisions. Once again, the Innovation Hub, as I mentioned, then also just testing dynamic platforms for testing and refining ideas. that drives that will drive evidence-based decision making and regional growth. So our new digital hub will hopefully help us to do this more, which we are already doing, but not with the support of a digital hub. Okay, so with regards to collaboration and for regional impact, we do collaborate, as I said, with governments, NGOs, and the academic and private sectors. We have joint research and innovation partnership that enables us to do joint research, capacity building, and of course, policy development. We work with very specifically with the government of Kyrgyzstan and government of Tajikistan in this space. We want to develop through the hub, foster dialogue and idea sections to co-create, co-develop ideas with the external and also our internal stakeholders within AKDN. So just to give you an idea, this is my last slide. This is our plan. The first phase will focus on establishing the core infrastructure and data hub to support climate and digital innovations in Central Asia. You know that I said that we have got data, but that data is not enough. My background is AI, machine learning, so I am really keen to try and bring more data into the hub so that it allows us to do better results that will result in better decision making. So the smart campus launch, we are already having a lot of automation projects, but we want to connect them to make our campuses smart. We want to scale partnerships and regional impact to foster collaboration. We are very much functional in Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan. We want to focus and connect with Kazakhstan, and that's what I hope we can achieve after this event. Thank you very much, and I'm very sorry for the issues around sharing my slides, but I'm happy. Yes, thank you very much for the advertisement. Thank you very much for your invitation.
I think the last slide is very important for us. The roadmap for establishing digitalization hub in Central Asia. Thank you very much, and please stay in touch. I also welcome Marco Turkumic. Please, please. And dear colleagues, last speaker today is a very interesting presentation. Mr. Gani Medvedov, Rector of Almaty University of Sound Engineering and Telecommunication, named after the Medvedov. First of all, I'd like also notice that Mr. Medvedov participated last year in the COP29 and also support this event, our population, this climate change and that. Welcome, Mr. Medvedov.
Thank you very much, Madam Bakhtisekina. Thank you. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear? If it's okay, if I can start. So, dear colleagues, dear participants of such distinguished conference, I'm very happy and honored to be part of this event. I was planning to come physically to Belém, but unfortunately, because of the absence of my Schengen visa, I couldn't fly. But I was not aware of double transit issue, so I couldn't come. But nevertheless, I'm very happy to join online. I want to thank the Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Ecology for the support. I want to thank again Mrs. Isekina for inviting and having me at this event. I just heard the presentation of my colleague from Kyrgyzstan, president of Central Asian University. It's a great opportunity for academia, for universities to be part of this event, because the climate agenda, the green energy issue is part of what we do at our university as well. The issue of developing climate agenda, energy transition is what we want to pursue in our programs, educational programs. As you know, our university is 50 years old. It's one of the leading technical, engineering, and energy universities in the region. I would say we are the only specialized energy university in Kazakhstan. We were number 3 in Soviet Union in terms of energy education, and that legacy helps us a lot now. We are now at the transition stage. We are moving towards our new strategy of development. We want to remain the leading energy and the engineering university, as well as we want to add some additional programs to our university, including technical creative programs. That is why we are partnering with many distinguished international institutions. Just recently, 50 students started their programs at the branch campus of Hochschule-Anhalt. It's a German university of applied sciences, and they opened their branch campus at our university, and 50 students are now studying electrical engineering at this double degree program in English language. We also established double degree program with the best energy university of China. It's North China Electric Power University, and we just established 2+2 program. 2 years students can study here in Kazakhstan and 2 years in China. And finally, we established the branch campus of New York Film Academy. That's towards our techno-creative direction. We will be building a new campus near Almaty city in the coming 2 or 3 years. It will be for 10,000 students. It will be a new campus, very sustainable, very beautiful. And one of our first residents at that campus is New York Film Academy. And we plan that some other international universities will join us. So that's in short about our university. I'm very happy to partner with my colleagues who are participating. I'm very open. I hope my contacts will be available at the end of this presentation. So in terms of what we do regarding the topic of our session, so prospects of green energy digitalization in Central Asia. Let me go through some of the projects that we already fulfilled. One of the great projects we fulfilled, our researchers fulfilled, is about unification of the energy system of Western Kazakhstan with the unified energy system of Kazakhstan. So as you know, the west part of Kazakhstan was developing separately, and it was not integrated into the unified energy system. So our researchers helped to develop this model for unifying the system. And I'm very happy that this our national grid company, electricity grid company, KEGOK, has ordered this project, and we delivered this project very successfully, and they used the deliverables of our project into their operations. Another project that we conducted in cooperation with the former USAID, it's a network study on renewable energy integration in Mangistau region. Again, it's in the west of Kazakhstan, and our researchers are very high demand, and they ask us to fulfill some concrete calculations and feasibility studies for many energy projects in the region, including wind energy project, solar energy project in general. Let me also clarify. Let me add as well another project that we had fulfilled is the development of the unified energy system of Kazakhstan and the unified energy system of Central Asia. So this project is very practical one. Again, it was upon the request of our national electricity grid company. And again, if someone is interested, we can share the findings of this research. But all these findings were very practical oriented, and are already in use. Another project, it was financed by USAID. It is 2 or 3 years ago. So I will not, maybe I will not focus too much on that project. One of the new projects that we are initiating, it's a project with the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, and we will be developing program on building capacity for renewable energy integration in Kazakhstan. Overall, I would say that our university obviously is very strong in training specialists for traditional energy sector. So many our graduates they go to the coal-firing power stations, which generate 70% of electricity in Kazakhstan. So coal electricity generation still remains an important part of our energy balance, and Kazakhstan needs our specialists, and we will be training them in coming years. But we already are focusing very strongly on training professionals for renewable energy sector. That is why we are partnering with German university, Anhalt University, and we are having double degree programs with them. They are having programs in photovoltaics. We are having programs with renewable energy sources. So all these programs are in high demand among our students. And in coming years, we will be developing similar renewable energy program, including the issue of digitalization of energy sector with our Chinese partners. And our main strategic Chinese partner is North China Electric Power University. And today we just signed an agreement that we will be establishing Kazakhstan Chinese College of Outstanding Engineers. And it will be for master and PhD studies, 3 and 4 years. Kazakhstani students will go to China. They will be intensively working they will be having a practical training at power stations of China, and all that will be financed by our Chinese partners. So it will be a great opportunity for Central Asian students, for Kazakhstani students, to gain very competitive, high quality education and energy programs. So that is I was asked to be very short. So that is all about my presentation. I would be very happy to cooperate and partner with my colleagues who will be interested in working together in such an important area as energy transition, green energy agenda. Thank you very much.
Спасибо большое. Thank you very much, Ganin, for this intervention and opportunity. We wish you team, we wish your university to promote green energy in Kazakhstan. Thank you very much, and please stay in touch.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let me say thanks once again to all participants. First of all, Minister of Resources, we are thankful to all speakers from ISTC, from GCF, from OECD, from IGRI, SIPA, from University of Central Asia, and also from Almaty University for good contribution. We plan to summarize all recommendations to government, to Central Asia, and plan to continue this idea on establishment digital hub for Central Asia. And last, what I give floor to Vice Minister of Ecology and Natural Resources, Mr. Mansur Kosherbayev.
Спасибо, спасибо, уважаемые гости. Спасибо большое за то, что организовали это мероприятие, госпожа Исекина. Спасибо всем партнерам. Вроде всем желаю сессии Ecology на отправлении и прочее. Поэтому желаю всем партнерам хорошего здоровья, повести. Thank you so much.
Dear colleagues, thank you very much for this event. It was really country, president. Thank you for all the support. Thank you again.
Okay, I invite all people to general photo.